Welcome, folks, to My Combat Channel News. I'm the Yak Man, Ron Yakovetti.
Fabiano, the king of armbar.
And it is a long weekend gone by.
It's a long weekend for you.
Yeah.
So we, like as you noticed, we'll be able to take him out of jail.
Yeah.
In Brazil. How come you go to Brazil without a visa?
I didn't bring anything that I needed to have. Funny thing though, I found out that MMA is as popular as you said it is in Brazil. And in fact, I still got to watch the fights. Little known fact, it's illegal in all countries to steal cable, but then when you steal cable, you go to prison. You know what they have? Free cable. So I still got to watch the fights is what I'm saying. So big weekend, UFC 153, a lot of good fights, a lot of Brazilians, and a lot of really strong, promising career moments for a lot of the guys on it.
That's how we're gonna go over. We're gonna go over the main events, every single fight on the main event, and we're gonna start off on Dana Maia on his fight against Rick Story. That was like a very good fight for Dana, and he's 170 pounds. If you guys don't know, he changed the weight division. So Dana Maia was
aggressive.
Very aggressive.
That was an aggressive Damian Maia, not the one we've seen in past fights when he was a little bit more challenged, like with Anderson Silva.
Yes. So that's the video, like in Brazil, of course, that's the, like all the crowd that goes nuts, crazy into the whole show. Beautiful girls, all the Jose Aldo. All the fighters is definitely there. Machida. Vitor
holding his drink.
Here we go, and then it's Dana Maia and Rick Story.
Yeah, a good matchup going in. This is an exciting matchup style-wise, not too comparable in style. Both guys don't really know how to go backwards, but Maia made Story have to.
I think it was a very, very smart decision from Dana Maia to change for 170. He's gonna submit people back and forth. He's in my weight division now. And his body, like the way his body style is going to be very good for him. If he made it at 170, he should stay on 170 and maybe be on top of that division.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows that he's a great submission expert on the ground. What he did in this one is he got a lot of takedowns to set that up.
That fight was like in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, win by Dana Maia, just so you know. That's Phil Davis right now and Wagner Prado.
Mr. Wonderful himself right there.
Yeah.
Again, an improved Davis from the Rashad Evans fight that we saw.
Yep.
Very smart, a lot of pressure, a lot of takedowns from Davis.
And again, guys, that's a American guy fighting in Brazil against a Brazilian guy, and he scored a lot of takedowns. He dominated the fight, and he was able to finish an anaconda choke on 4 minutes and 29 seconds.
After an almost arm triangle too, and he outlanded him in strikes, by the way, 26-1 and 30-something-1 in both rounds.
Just for you to know, this was the best fight of the night on this particular one. I was waiting for this fight. Eric Silva is a very good Brazilian upcoming fighter. And they put him against John. It was a very tough one for him.
Yeah, Fitch's submission skills are above average by far. 6 out of 9 takedown attempts by Fitch successful. That's a high ratio in any fight against any opponent.
But I went very back and forth, the fight. And like he got that armbar was deep. He was able to escape by the time. And it was an unanimous decision from John.
And I think experience a big factor too.
Yeah. That was the fight that we spoke about last week, Glover Teixeira against Fabio Maldonado. Fabio accepted that fight in the last minute, and he's from Team Nogueira. Team Nogueira has been saying that they have all his fighters ready to go. And he took some punishment.
Yeah.
He did some punishment, and they say that Teixeira was not performing as the way that people was.
He got his attention with that left hook right there, but Teixeira outlanded him in strikes 64-5 in the opening round. Again, a big domination.
That was a good win by Teixeira, and he looked like he's lined up to fight Rampage Jackson.
Who's calling him out now.
About that. So Minotauro Nogueira against Dave Herman. Again, Nogueira, he first time came back after he broke his arm.
Yep.
It was a very, very challenged fight. I think that's the winner on this particular fight is going to stay on the game, and the loser is probably going to go bye-bye by UFC.
2 firsts happened in this fight. For one, first time Herman was ever submitted in 26 professional bouts, and Nogueira, not with a tap-out victory since 2008, gets one this night against Herman. Phenomenal performance.
It was very good. Again, the crowd was going crazy. And again, people in Brazil does love him.
Yeah.
Okay, for every, all the year round, for the personality and everything. So I'm very happy for him. And you guys gonna see some very good image that we have, like, as we're going. I don't want to say.
And Nogueira says, not old, don't think I'm retiring, bring me on the top guys, except Dos Santos doesn't want to fight him.
Well, they're on the same team. That's why they're not going to fight.
Right.
And Nogueira probably is like, most like he's going to announce his retirement. That's what I heard. And again, guys, that's a tweet right there, My Combat channel. And also, you're more than welcome to visit us on the
Facebook. My Combat channel. And a lot of the episodes, you can see them on there. They're on mycombatchannel.com. We put them on Facebook. We tweet them with our twandles and twiddle you with them if we can. It's not illegal. Why not?
Don't think we forgot to talk about the main event. We will talk about the main event. That's the most important. But we need more time. That's why we kind of like, save the second segment to talk about Anderson Silva.
Yes.
Yeah, so again, that was the fight.
Anderson Silva doing what Anderson Silva does. It's like watching an artist paint or play an instrument. He's masterful. He's an aficionado at what he does. Who doesn't like to watch it? So
don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about Anderson Silva fight.
Silva Bonner covered next here by the out of jail guy and his partner. Welcome back, folks, to My Combat Channel News. So we talked about UFC 153, and somehow it felt like something was missing.
Of course it was missing. We didn't talk about the main event. That's what everybody was waiting for. Anderson Silva did not disappoint the Brazilian crowd. Everybody was crazy about. So anyway, this is the celebration. See how the team is. This is the celebration of Nogueira victory on the locker room. And look how amazing. Anderson is crying because his training partner won the fight. How amazing is that? And he's gonna have to go and fight. So emotion is very low emotional, and he needs to step into the ring. I love that. I love the whole team.
It shows the bond. It shows the team part of the individual sport.
Like shake that out.
Yeah.
Shake the whole shears out and walking to the house. The house of punishment. He's in a very good shape. I thought he was going to do better. Like
Bonner?
Yeah, definitely. And then I can, of course he won, Anderson won, but he looked like he was a little bit out of shape. Okay, like he used a lot of his technique, he used a lot of his experience on the ring, play around a lot, and not really going forward.
Yeah, that reminded me of something, and I'll tell you what that is in a minute. The thing I liked about Bonner in this fight, and in this matchup, the one thing, if you had to justify why Bonner was in there, is that he's a pressure guy.
Who does that? Look, see, he goes back to the spot that his opponent just missed a shot.
I'll tell you what that is. That is the influence of one of his favorite fighters who's a professional boxer. That's Roy Jones Jr.
His style, he used to do that.
Absolutely. Jones would shuck and move, he would go, that's Roy Jones. Clowning you right in front of you.
Put the hand down.
Yep, taking some shots, like no big deal.
Yeah.
Throwing the pants, throwing a hand, putting his hands back down. That's Roy Jones Jr. That's his influence.
Yeah, I'm cool, It's risky, and the end of the day, it's very risky.
But it works against a guy like Bonner who's going to come at you. He knows no other way.
Yeah. And Anderson.
And that needed a solar plexus, no lucky shot. He knew where he was placed in that, and it did what it was supposed to do.
Fight here tonight. You fought in a weight class that is not your normal weight class. Here is the end of the fight.
Right there is the end of the fight, and put him in the hospital. Bang! Right there.
Yeah, he
that was like very, very strong into the ribs.
Perfectly placed shot. Knew what he was doing. He's performed at this weight class before. Against James Irvin, he was phenomenally dominant against a guy who was very difficult to dominate. So, not surprising he does it to Bonner, but surprising maybe how fast.
Again, guys, if he did that on the 205, can you imagine how he's going to keep doing on the 185?
What happens if the other super fight, there's two super fights above and below him. One is Jones. The other one is GSP. What happens if he goes to 170 with that speed, that kind of power?
Well,
Can St. Pierre hang with that?
they announced the fight. If Georges St. Pierre win his next fight, they announced already they're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be a catch weight. So that's gonna be very interesting.
Catch weight. Now, how heavy does St. Pierre walk around when he's not fighting?
He's around 185, 190, 185.
So the bigger, stronger is clearly Anderson.
Yeah.
They both are very athletic, speedy, and unorthodox in their approach. That is a...
The only problem that I see is Anderson is not as young as
St. Pierre.
And cut too much weight can maybe damage him. Maybe. Okay, that's the only problem that I see. But anyway, you see how heavy he is over there. So anyway.
That's insightful. Speaking of not heavy, cutting weight and looking just right, please tell them what's coming up next.
Looking just good enough to present that top 10 lightweight division.
Hey everyone, I'm Erin Gales, and this is your top 10 lightweight division. At number 10, we have Donald Cowboy Cerrone. At number 9, we have Eddie Alvarez. At number 8, we have Jim Miller. Number 7, Michael Chandler. Number 6, we have Nate Diaz. And at number 5, Anthony Showtime Pettis. And at number 4, we have the bully, Gray Maynard. At number 3, we have El Nino himself, Gilbert Melendez. At number 2, we have Frankie the Answer, Edgar. And at number 1, we have Benson Smooth Henderson. Thank you for watching. I'm Erin Gales, and that was your top 10 lightweight division.
So Ram, you think these guys should be worried about Anderson? Maybe Anderson can go lightweight.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't put it past him. He's a guy who pretty much seems to be able to do what he wants to do in what weight class he wants to do it. The weight cut might hurt him, like you said, but...
I tell you what, he's definitely on the top of the game like nobody ever been before. There's
undefeated,
no
what,
question
15,
about that.
16 defenses now in the UFC, unheard of. Nobody's done it yet. He's the only one.
So we went online and we caught some good pictures, interest pictures of Anderson celebrating and enjoying his moment with his teammate,
Yes.
or, his friends most likely. So this is like, when you see you're a professional fighter and you're not afraid to show, how much you like your friends.
Yeah.
You're not worried about what people are gonna say.
He cares because neither one of them shaved.
Yeah. And they, they are both, have the family and they spend more time probably together with their wife and family.
Yeah.
They are on training all the time. Very cool. This is like our, a very good moment that Anderson goes and on the hospital, take a look on Fabio Mondonato.
Yeah.
The damage,
Teixeira did to him.
Yeah, and the next one, it is celebrating time.
That is Anderson Silva doing his best Urkel impersonation.
Yes.
I've never been afraid of Urkel before, but that might change anything the next time that show comes on.
Yes.
That's spooky.
Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to talk to you guys. So
Still more matchups and more next when we come back and some of that stuff. Oh, it's coming at you. Welcome back, folks, to My Combat Channel News. Now we're going to move to a couple of interesting matchups and fights that also took place. They got a lot of fight fans' attention.
Yeah, I like the announce. Dana White just did it, saying that Rampage is back on the game against Teixeira. So it look like they're gonna bring him back. That fight was supposed to happen on the UFC 153 in Brazil, and Rampage got hurt. And now they say that he is back again against Teixeira because, of course, you guys saw that Teixeira won that fight.
Right, he won big. How much of that do you think has to do with the fact that Rampage also calling Teixeira out?
Well, he called him out because they've been promoting him a lot, and he didn't do very, very impressive in this last fight. So they kind of respect him to go there and knock Fabio out, and he didn't do that, and so I think Rampage got himself a little more confidence. He was able to study him a little more and say, you know what, I can take this guy, and it's gonna be a very interesting fight. Anyway.
Yeah, both guys heavy-handed. Knockout could be seconds away at any time. At this point in Rampage's career, he says he's revitalized. He says he's sparked up again in the fight. Unlike where he seemed a little bit like, down about it and he was more into the movie thing. Does he have the mindset to pull this off now? Yeah,
he is back, believe me. I've been, talking to him, and he's definitely back into the fight game. And I can't wait to see him in the ring again. Rampage is my boy, and I like him, and I don't care what people say. When he is there, he is there.
Yeah, and that's the key thing too. When he's on his game, win, lose, or draw, you can't not like the guy. He's incredible to watch. He's got to be in the game. If his head's not there, it might get taken off.
And if you on this game, if you follow up MMA, you heard that name before, Cro Cop.
Mirko Cro Cop.
Mirko Cro Cop. Cro Cop used to be huge in Japan on Pride. And he went to UFC. He didn't do very well in the UFC, and now he's back on his game. He used to be a stand-up guy. That's what he's very strong with, and he's back on K1. He just won
to his striking roots with a win against Randy Blake, and that is his thing too. That head kick, he became a signature move for him in MMA, and people expected to see that. But in the UFC, what happened? He got head kicked, knocked out by Gabriel Gonzaga.
Did you see that soccer punch? It was crazy. Like how he does that. Hand is down, and he punched his opponent into the face when the hand's down. That is crazy.
Why do you think he didn't transition well into the UFC, coming from Pride and having a strong kickboxing background when he came over? It seemed like he didn't stack up to what people's expectations were.
I have a feeling that he didn't do well against the cage. He was better on. I think the ring is his home.
Yeah,
that's what I'm feeling like.
That's a big factor.
Anyway, and he's not young, and he got a lot of damage in his life.
A lot of battles.
He knocked a lot of people out, but he got knocked out pretty bad too. So anyway, John Jones say he's down to coach
the Ultimate Fighter.
The Ultimate Fighter, but he's not against Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, won't coach against Cormier. Interesting, we were talking about it. Different weight classes. Jones, light heavyweight champion. Cormier, a heavyweight contender coming out of the Strikeforce series. But as we know, when weight classes are that close, look what Anderson Silva just did. He's the middleweight champion, but he just scored a huge victory at light heavyweight over Bonner. It's reasonable that maybe they could try to do a catchweight or some kind of a matchup. He doesn't want to have to take Cormier on.
Because Cormier, as you guys know, been doing very, very well on Strikeforce. He's been knocking everybody out, and he's been doing very well. And again, he's a big boy. So
is he the guy to take down John Jones? I'm not sure about that. I mean, he's doing better than we thought. His performance against Josh Barnett, better than expected, I think. But against John Jones, I don't know that he's the guy.
Honest, my opinion is that I don't think either one or the other one is ready to coach. Okay, forget about fight against each other. Bottom line is they're supposed to be coaching, and I don't think they have too much to coach. They're amazing fighters.
Right.
But doesn't mean they can, go ahead and coach well.
Right.
So.
Happens in every sport. In the NFL, some guys amazing coaches can't play the game. Some guys excellent players can't coach the game. Is it the same reason for both of them, or is it different? Like for Jones, is it because his youth? For Cormier, is it because his background is maybe not as well-rounded?
Again, when it goes into the Ultimate Fighter, you need to coach all the way around.
Right.
And that's what I think they're gonna, mess it up a little bit. So
Yeah, you see Cormier's handiwork right
hands
there too.
like against, yeah.
Really good job. I think
Silva.
against Bigfoot Silva.
It's amazing. Yeah, look the uppercut. It was almost lifting him up the ground. That's when he got, I think, the Strikeforce belt into that one.
It's just a different thing to do that against a John Jones who's that agile, that fast, and that athletic and orthodox. It's just very hard.
Yeah, so tomorrow you're back in court. You're not going to be here.
Right.
So why you have to go back in court tomorrow?
Well, I got to clear up a couple things in Brazil that happened.
Aoki was saying that you almost got married.
I did. I did it for the papers.
Okay, not that kind of jail marriage.
Not. Let's say no. Let's say no. Let's say I got matched up on the BrazilianMatch.com and it wasn't a good match.
So hopefully we see Ron back here on Wednesday.
Yeah. Hopefully. But if not, just know that I'm somewhere warm and tropical.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for joining us on
MyCombatChannel.com for more.
Every night, every chance we get. See you next time.